The time now is 7 o'clock. I'm going to call the Wayne Township Board of Trustees meeting open. I want to welcome everybody that's in the audience, and then welcome everybody, the residents that are actually watching online or YouTube as well. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate that. If everybody is in and needs to sign in sheets back there. Can I get a roll call, please?
Call roll. Mr. Jacobs?
Here.
Mr. Patrick?
Here.
Now, as we can see, Ms. Colvin is absent tonight.
Correct. And then we have pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
I will second that.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Do we have any additions, removals, or disclosures from the posted agenda?
I have none.
I have two action items that go on legislation that have been
Okay.
added. They're
Good.
on your printed out agenda, resolution 40 and 41.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
41 the shorts.
Yes.
And then we're supposed to have somebody from Little Miami River Leadership Float. I do not see them here tonight, so we'll move on to citizen comments. Do we have any citizen comments? Okay, thank you. Well, let's move on to the road department reports. Mr. Camry.
Good evening,
Good evening.
Board. How are you?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna stand by, I just got a couple updates here. As far as the chip seal, they're still looking to be, it looks like around the 26th, so, of this month. And we are, for all intents and purposes, they are definitely gonna start with us because they realize that we're under a time constraint with the slurry coming behind them. I've had to they're down in Allen and Paulding County, Paulding County. And they'll be up here somewhere around the 26th of this month. So I pushed the micro seal, slurry seal back till the 10th of July. Everything should work out that way. I've been back and forth on phone calls with, between both contractors and the county, so maybe just a little bit backed up, from what we originally had thought.
Excuse me, what did you say you moved the slurry seal back to what date? The reason I'm writing this down is because the guy that puts all the flags out for Boy Scouts, they're wanting to mark roads, and I told him I'd get the roads that's gonna be marked
10th of July.
10th.
Oh, yeah.
What roads are those again? The chip seal?
The chip seal and slurry seal would be Hacker Farm Lane,
Okay,
Henderson Drive Road,
okay.
Spartan Hill, Sandy Run,
All those are gonna be slurry sealed on top,
yes.
and Sandy Run.
Yeah, all of Sandy Run. You need all those streets as well.
Pardon?
Sandy Run, Michaela, Adam, Brandon,
No, I
and Cold
just said
Spring.
all Sandy Run. All those will be chip sealed and slurry sealed on top.
Yes, and then Guard Road, from Corwin Road all the way to the township line, will be just chip seal. Corwin,
Going to count the township line.
township line with Massey, yeah.
Okay.
So, and I'll be
I
putting
told
this,
him
I'll
I'd
be,
get this to him as soon as possible, but
okay.
I don't know, I guess he don't wanna mark the roads, then have a slurry or a chip seal
Right,
over top.
yeah. So, I mean, if he gets it done, well,
That's good enough.
yeah. Okay, so that takes care of, I'll be getting the signs out, the chip seal signs out either late this week or first of next week. We've been doing some wedging, I've got one more, maybe about a half a day probably tomorrow, and I'll get that finished up, and then I've got a little bit of patching I need to get done prior to, there's one spot out in Sandy Run I've got to get fixed on an inside radius before any of our resurfacing goes on. And then as far as item number 5, the culvert installation, that's in limbo right now, because when I went out and talked with the resident about it, I was like, what he wanted to do, I was like, I'm not real sure that that's gonna solve the problem that you're having. We had that big rain.
Yeah.
A month ago, and it washed it came over the road, or it sheeted off of the road and washed away part of his garden, and I think he's having kind of a knee-jerk reaction or whatever. So, I told him I didn't think what he was talking about was gonna help much, but he wanted to go on, then he talked with some other people, and so now that's in limbo, so. Nevertheless, that's something I'll handle anyways. Other than that, everything's up, everything's available. Hopefully we get a little bit of rain tonight.
Yeah.
With any luck, because we're all dry.
Yes, we are.
That's all I have, unless you guys have something you need to pass on to me.
No news is good news.
There you go. Good
Thank you,
deal.
Scott.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Fire chief,
Good evening.
yes.
Don't have a lot of updates. I want to update on the engine, had the air problem. It went to 911 fleet. They said it wasn't a treble valve, and they replaced a couple sensors, and that did not fix the problem. So they come back up and looked at it. They found another sensor, so they're still working on it. And it's a lot better than it was. So still have more updates on it as they get coming along. Couple interviews, like I said, one needs experience for a career job, and the other one's into the medical field, and she wants experience as EMS. So that's really all I got of the new stuff. I haven't heard anything back from Seagraves on the new engine. Do you have any correspondence back from them at all?
They should be moving.
No news is good news.
No news is good news.
Maybe.
Or I can
And that other
send
stuff
an email
is-
here an update for next meeting.
Now, we have a confirmation that it's moving forward, correct?
Mhm.
Okay,
It's good for me.
that's good.
and that other stuff's for discussion in new legislation.
Sounds good. Thank you. Zoning department, Ms. Lowy. How you doing?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Basically, just the permits for this month, and we'll note the commercial zone permit was issued for the Bentley's Resort. I've got a couple of variances that'll be on the BZA's agenda next week. That's about it.
That's good. That's good. Thank you. Any more questions? Good. Administrator's report, Mr. Edwards.
Good evening, board. Fire department staffing, work session requested in the future. Anyone, everybody's here at the next meeting or shortly thereafter. Aggregation, Wayne Township's entered into a government aggregation for natural gas master service agreement with Archer Energy as of last week. Start date will be the first meter reading date on or after August 1st of 2023, and an end date will be May 31st of 2025. And that new natural gas rate will be 0.569 cents per cubic foot, which is below what threshold that we gave them. It still may seem a little high for the summertime, but it's probably going to be a good rate for wintertime.
Okay.
And again, it's an opt-out program, so if people don't like it, they can find something better. And do that. But natural gas is a little bit different than electric aggregation. You can afford it being a little bit higher as long as you're not paying that big price in the wintertime when you're mostly using your natural gas. So, I think it's good. Lateral Trails, sent letters out to all those residents. Got a complaint for a lot of growth growing up in all their waterways between the twin 52-inch culverts and then also the back drainage ditch and so forth. So just sent, probably this is the third time we've done this, to send a reminder out to all those residents that it's out of the public right-of-way, so it is theirs to maintain. Several of those houses have turned over with new property owners, so I want to make them aware of it. We also sent out subdivision letters yesterday. those notices, for having, for the residents that are gonna have chip seal and microservicing done this summer. And make them aware of the timeline and be able to come to the website to see how the process is done. Also inserted, I think what was in your packet, the 2-page letter that kind of explains the process and so forth. So it's the same thing we did for those residents last year that were in the reserve at Waynesville, and it seemed to nip a lot of the questions. But this time, there were, I ended up with Stacy, 200, close to 200 letters in
Oh,
there.
yeah, it was over 200.
Over 200, so just want you guys to be aware of it, so if you get a phone call, or if we get a phone call, it should be coming from within the next week or so. So far, we haven't had any that I'm aware of.
You say those letters went out yesterday?
Yes.
Okay, so if I get the signs out either Friday or Monday, it won't be, shouldn't be too big of a
They
surprise.
should be aware of it, yeah.
Right, okay, good deal.
Because it's in that letter about the signs going
Right.
out and,
Right.
yeah. And cemeteries look great for Memorial Day, so I'd like to thank the road department for getting those looking nice, as they always do for Memorial Day, the weekend. And then the mileage certification that we requested out of last meeting did come in from the auditor's office, and I think I included that in your packet also. And then one last thing that I don't have a report, I guess would be, I have it in there with, wasn't in the packet, but I have it on in front of you, and that is a letter, and also there was a packet that I took up to the Waynesville Public Works meeting last night, and also the Village Council, for their joint application with us for an OPWC project on Corwin Avenue for resurfacing, repaving, and base repair. Total amount of that project is $315,000. So, asked for them for their contribution of $25,000 to get the extra points on scoring in District 10. And Public Works Committee did vote unanimously in support of it. Seems how they were going right into council meeting, and I don't think they had legislation prepared, so they may have not actually act on that in council meeting. I didn't stick around for the council meeting to find out, so I just want to make you aware of it.
Thank you,
and I gave you a
guys.
copy of the letter.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And that's
Will we be competing with any of their projects?
I don't think so. I think we'll be a year after the Franklin, although they put a project in every year, so it's kind of, it is what it is, if nothing else.
So we shoot
they
first,
both have the same.
That's right.
We will score different, for a couple reasons. Villages typically will score better because of their population and so forth. But then the one thing that we will have up on them on the scoring system is we should get a full 10 points, because we have not been approved of an application for 10 years.
Okay.
And so if you've been, where I think in that category, they would only get 4 or 5 points. So we'll pick up a few extra points in that category. Yeah, if you get projects approved every year like they've been getting, then you drop down a little lower, so it's a little harder to qualify.
Good deal.
But we also, on that application, I'm putting in at 51.49% match. So we'll be picking up 51%, asking for the 49.
Were we gonna be able to ask Corwin as well?
Plan on to, yes.
Planning on, okay, right, okay.
So if we get 25 for both entities, that'll be
Yeah.
50,000 out of our 159,000 or 160,000 project.
Right.
Should
Good
be
deal.
some people on it.
That will help immensely.
Yeah. That's all I have.
Thank you,
Thanks,
guys.
sir.
Yeah, appreciate it. Old business. Anything, website or anything else? for
We're
anyone?
we're moving again with it. I had to put it on hold for a minute with my wife's help, but
That's
we're
fine.
back on it. So.
Thank you. New business, questions, concerns of the bills?
I am.
I have none either. I still have to sign mine here at the end of the meeting. Legislation. So we got resolution 2023-40. Oh, Chief, you need to have new business, right?
You have
It's
something
here?
for new
Oh,
business?
This here,
Okay.
I emailed that
First
out.
time around.
She is, say what?
First time around.
Well, she, is not able to do her agility test now till Thursday morning at 10 o'clock when she's scheduled.
Okay.
And, whether to put her off for 2 more weeks, I don't want her to lose drive. I mean, she's the ER tech. I'm not even gonna, Gus, you may have to remember how she said her last name.
I do not.
And it
How to
is
spell it.
IONESCU.
Okay.
Her parents are immigrants, she told us that in an interview. She's the ER tech at Atrium, she just started there. She took her EMT at Sinclair, and she took it through her high school program. She did her clinical times at Kettering, because they did not do no squad, because it was during COVID and stuff. Free time, enjoys reading and working out at the gym. Her family is in the ER, hospital environment, CAT scan techs and stuff like that in the ER, so she don't have anybody in the EMS field. But like I said, she's passed everything except the agility test, and she's on that for Thursday at 10 o'clock. And I know it's not normal that way, but I figured if we can bring her in 2 weeks, give her, wait on that approval, and then it's good. I don't wanna lose her encouragement, she was real upbeat. Some of the people you interview is not really upbeat.
Strike the iron while it's hot, we wanna.
Yeah, she was, wasn't she, Gus? She was really upbeat, it was,
She emailed everyone, didn't she?
Huh?
She emailed.
Yeah, she emailed
So
everybody.
everybody.
Gus, Stacy, me, she went on a recruiting thing, she did,
Good for her.
That's good.
Good.
Very, very good.
so,
She's going to UD, I think she's carried like a 4.2
Yeah.
GPA.
This is great.
All that being said, I make a motion to adopt resolution 2023-40.
I will second that.
We have a motion by Mr. Patrick to adopt resolution 2023-40, second by Mr. Jacobs. Call roll on Mr. Patrick.
Yay.
Mr. Jacobs.
Yay.
And Mrs. Colvin is absent. This resolution is hereby adopted. This is 6th day of June 2023.
We have our next resolution, 2023-41. I'll wait for Gus to pull it up here.
this is an update for, operations as far as S.O.P. for uniforms. We didn't have a short policy, and we've had 4 or 5 people ask in the last month or so about it, so I did some research, Beaver Creek, Lebanon, Miami Fire District, and got information from them, and, they pretty much copied their S.O.P. and sent it to us, and it just,
Good.
they got some guidelines on it, that, it's only during part of the year, it has to be approved, and all that stuff's in their shoes, so it looks, I'm good with it either way. I know they said that the pants get hot on normal runs and around the firehouse and stuff like that, so I figure if make it more standard and pants that they can, shorts, it's not in the budget right now to buy them shorts right now, but I haven't researched the cost of them, but I wanted to throw that out to you guys and see your thoughts too.
Hey, you know what, if, I don't think we need any reason at all to give somebody to not show up or to not come. By God, if they say it's too hot wearing pants, well, they can wear shorts. It's one of those things that doesn't bother me a bit. And I think it's one of those things we gotta, obviously, when it comes to facial hair, there's a real safety reason,
Yes.
a real actual reason that comes into it for fire, but, I don't know if we have a tattoo policy, any of that kind of stuff.
We do not have a tattoo, we got facial hair and eyeglass policy and stuff like that, where you can't wear eyeglasses with your SCBA unless it's fitted in the mask
Okay.
for certain manufacturers, 2-day growth on the beard,
And-
all that stuff is, and there are other uniforms as far as the pants and shirts and department issued clothes,
I think it's, we gotta make sure we stay modern and we stay up with the way things are and, so I'm just fine with it. Any other discussion?
No, I'm perfectly fine with it as well, like you said, staying up to date with it and stuff, and we have FR clothing, so I know it gets hot.
Yeah.
And it's hard on the person too, so it's good, yeah,
So you're doing something to add on, I think.
oh, yeah.
And if you're gonna have them, let them do it, you might as well have something that they all look the same, rather
Yep,
than.
yep.
I don't want no one wearing these,
Khaki.
Laker boxers or
Something
whatever,
whatever.
you know, I mean, so.
To make it consistent, so. I make a motion to adopt 2023-41.
And I will second that.
Okay, a motion by Mr. Patrick, second by Mr. Jacobs to adopt resolution 2023-41. Call roll thereon. Mr. Patrick.
Yay.
Mr. Jacobs.
Yay.
And Ms. Colvin is absent. This resolution is hereby adopted. This is 6th day of June 2023.
Does anybody else have any other new business?
I have none.
I have none either.
Andy just signed that, so it's done.
Next section is correspondence.
I have two pieces of correspondence. One is the Warren County Health District's monthly newsletter. And we got a notice from Staples Business Moore account. It's going to be closed out July the 31st. They didn't give a reason as to why they closed it out, but I assume it's because lack of use. We don't hardly ever use it.
Inactivity.
Yeah. So if you got anything to order under the credit card, you better get it done before the 31st of July.
Gus, do you have any correspondence?
I do not have any correspondence, but I did receive a phone call from a resident that, when we put out, they received our letter, which came through Trebell with our new aggregation rates for electricity. And, it was somewhat disheartening, but after I did some explanation, I mean, I felt good about the conversation, and I think they did too. But the disheartening part was the fact that, this individual was a senior citizen on a fixed income, and how dare we, is that the best we can do, is to double their rates? And, you know, it just, like I say, it caught me a little disheartening, but once I explained to them that, yeah, your rates are going up, 50%, they're not doubling, and then that what you were paying is a third of what everybody else has been paying for the last year. So, because, this individual had done the math and calculation and said, this is gonna cost us $500 more on the year for our usage. I know, but, that's, everything else is going up. And so, I don't know, just kind of passing that along that,
Well, it's, have we not engaged in aggregation at all? The costs that, if you would have left it be, and I think, for anybody who is listening at home though too, it's important to know that no one is forced into aggregation. You were, initially at least, you were opted in automatically, but you had the ability to opt out at any time and
For no cost.
And no cost. There's no penalty, none of those types of things. The goal was to, like when you go to Costco or Sam's Club, you buy in bulk and you get a better rate. So we bundle things together and do that.
and that's how our conversation went, and that was their understanding also, is that, yes, since 2016, they have saved money. And that, yes, over the last year, they have saved money. Yeah, they're gonna pay $500 more come July 1st for the next 12 months. And yes, we all agree that it's a frustration with inflation and the way the economy is now, that we're all paying more for everything. But, so I think the end of the conversation, once we got to talk it out, was the fact that, yes, we are looking out for the best thing for them and trying to do the best thing and save the money, which we feel that we have over the years. And that, it is out of our control, and no, we don't think the rates are gonna be any better. But if they are better, I told them that we would do everything we can to let them know that, hey, these rates are going down, get out of our program for the next year or whatever, till we get into a new rate and, you know, switch out. And it won't cost you anything to opt out.
Yep.
So,
Well,
You just kinda want-
that needs to be something that we remain cognizant of as we put our publication out, or, you know, in the fall and the spring, that, you know, if things do drastically change and you're better off to be half of our program, hey, you know, we don't make any money off of that, it doesn't behoove us in any way, shape, or form. It's one of those things that we just try to do to help save everybody a little bit extra dough.
correct. Like I said, you know, felt good after the long conversation because we were able to turn it around and still not gonna solve the $500 thing that they're gonna lose that they hadn't counted on, but, it could have been a lot worse.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Andy, by chance, do you know when DPNL's rate for local is going to be?
I thought we already had the bid event that took place for the standard offer,
Okay, you know.
but I still think it's still high. I mean, I still think it's over 8 cents. I think, I gotta look it back up again.
That's all I have.
Yeah, thank you, Gus, appreciate that. So, we have any elected officials comments?
I have none.
I don't have any, tonight. Work session, are we doing any work session tonight? Nope. Executive session done, and I think that is it for tonight.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I will second that.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I figured better with me. One made a motion, got the second.
So now officially we know Diane is who makes this meeting go so slow.
Hear that, Diane?
You texted her,